Hey, it's Jackson from Jazzy Gaming. Haven't really done anything for a really long time. I recently was looking online about my controller would just kind of turn off and disconnect from the console, and it's really irritating. So I decided to do some research on it, and people found out that it's, it's this little connection here because it gets pressed in by a small button in there, and it completes the circuit so that the batteries can be used by the controller. Well, this either becomes insufficient contact or it may start to corrode on the inside there. So I tried cleaning it and doing all that other that people put online, still didn't do anything. Basically what I decided was there's absolutely no reason that this should not be connected 100% of the time, so I ripped another one open, soldered the two ends together, and voila, it's fixed, and it won't ever have that problem again. So let me go grab the one that I already did the work on, and then we'll get to work on this battery pack. Alright, so this is the one that I already ripped open. This is the one that I actually use with this controller. But for right now, we're going to use this one as a demo. And you'll be able to see, when I turn it on, the lights. So you'll see it took a really long time to sync, and the lights are kind of flashing on and off. And then, if I went and tried to play a game with this thing, it would cut off within about 30 seconds. So, let's get the battery pack out. Alright, I've got the batteries out of the battery pack. So now what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to rip this thing in half. Sounds kind of brutal. I don't really have a superficial way of doing it, so I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to rip it in half. It's glued each corner and right down the center. It rips off real clean, and you'll be able to re-glue it again with some modeling glue. Basically this, well, really you could pretty much use any glue, but this stuff is designed for plastic and speakers and things, so it works really well. Anyway, I'll be right back after I rip this thing apart. Alright, I got it apart. So, to just really quickly explain exactly what's going on here, this little clamp in the middle gets pushed up when it's inserted into the controller, and then these two sides make contact, which allows the circuit to flow. Now basically what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little solder trail between the two sides right here, and then you don't need that contact anymore that, sometimes becomes corroded or doesn't quite make good enough contact so your controller turns off. It's going to work way better after this. So something else I'd recommend doing while you have the thing open is just taking a little bit of sandpaper and lightly going over the top end contacts here. And I guess, you could clean it up if there's any dirt or dust or in there, but there's nothing in there for me. I keep my stuff pretty clean. Alright, I'm going to heat up the soldering iron and get this done. Unfortunately, I only have two hands, so I can't really film it without looking like a complete. But I will show you the finished product, and honestly, if you know how to solder, it's not like I have to show you how to do this. So, alright, so I got the little solder bridge going. Got to make sure to get it hot enough so it properly binds. You don't want to get a whatever it's called. And then I also bent these up a little bit to give them a little bit more pressure on the batteries, and I cleaned off any oxidation with my little sandpaper eraser, I guess that's what you'd call it. Okay, so now basically I'm just going to glue the thing back together, and then I'll show you the final product. Alright. Alright, so I got it glued back together. You can see there's a little bit of extra glue bulging out on the sides, but for the most part, I did a pretty good job being conservative. Alright. Let's see what happens. Look at that. Strong LEDs. Good connection to the 360, which is like 60 feet away. Still doing sync error, but that's my controller, not the... Alright. Sweet. Doesn't turn off when you move it around. It's a good working controller now. Thanks for watching. Or just kind of shitty. Okay, well, it worked that time, but